watch Hello Okanagan from Okanagan Lake.
If you like our new merch, t-shirts, coffee cups, etc., what do we have for you?
Every time you grab one of these bad boys, we're planting a tree. And we're keeping it here in British Columbia.
Hey David, where are you? Over here, Peter. This guy's hogging the binoculars. Come on, man.
What are we doing?
We're gonna learn about some honey and some bees today.
And maybe some mead.
Hello Okanagan and from beyond, welcome. I'm Peter Kaz, this is David Scarlatescu, and we have a special guest here from Planet Bee. We're going to learn a ton of things about the difference of bees and wasps. I don't know the difference. I know one makes some great liquid gold.
I didn't know the difference either, but I just learned it right before this.
So anyway, we have Olivia here. Olivia, do you want to tell us a little bit about the family history? Because this is your family's venue. We're here at Planet Bee, by the way, in Vernon.
Absolutely. So we've been around since 1997. So back when I was a child, my dad took his passion for bees and just started a business. So took a risk with, young kids at home and put all of his savings into the honey business based on loving bees his whole life and wanting to share his passion for bees and also educate people about why they're important, why we don't need to fear them. So it's been 23 odd years now that we've been at it. So it's family operated. We've got my dad at the helm, and now my brother and myself are here as well.
And what are all the products that you guys sell and that you've gotten into here? Like, tell us a few of those.
Yeah, so originally it was obviously honey and then some of the health products of the hive. So my dad's really big on natural healing compounds found in the beehive. So propolis, royal jelly, bee pollen, obviously beeswax candles. And we've recently expanded into our own all-natural body care line using those bee products as ingredients, and also mead. So honey wine, fermented honey, making alcohol for the last 8 years or so.
The products that you're talking about, obviously there's some edibles and then there's things like lip balm and the lotions and this and that. Because they're made of honey, are they edible?
I wouldn't go so far as to suggest it. However, beeswax is edible.
It is.
So if you've ever seen comb honey, which is just basically cut right out of the hive, people always ask us, what am I supposed to do with this? So you actually can eat the whole thing, wax included. Cool. Yeah.
Fun fact, I'm allergic to beeswax.
You are?
All right, so why don't we find out a little bit more information about the three big products that come out of the hives?
Sure. So health benefits from the three main products of the hive, aside from honey, which is everybody's favorite. We also have propolis, which is the bees' medicine. So they actually make a pretty powerful sterilizing product that they make from beeswax and some resin from trees and shrubs. And they use it to seal their hive from infection. So we can collect it, and it's very good for the immune system.
And how does that work? I mean, how do you apply it onto yourself?
So we've just got these natural ointments, so you can topically apply it. So behind us, you can see these are the topical ointments. Okay. These are some things you would take internally, like throat sprays for sore throats, or if you're feeling unwell. We've got it in capsules. So propolis is the one you want to look for the immune system. Aside from that, there's also bee pollen. So if you've ever seen a bee on a flower in your garden, you might notice on her back legs, she's got some little yellow pollen or orange pollen. She collects them on her pollen baskets, they're called.
I've been using the products. Look at this. I'm actually 84.
There's a rumor that the Queen of England uses royal jelly in her skincare regime. So
does she get a royalty, no pun intended, for using her name on it?
So we put royal jelly in a lot of our skincare products as well.
And David, I wanted to try that theory. You said you were allergic to beeswax. Can I just rub this on your arm for a second?
Not too close, Peter.
I would like to try the mead. Can we jump over there?
Sure, let's do it.
These are our best viewers right here. Watch our BS show to date.
So this is one of our newest meads. This was actually my idea. It's based off of my favorite mead I've ever tasted, which tasted just like apple pie. So we grabbed some cider apples from our friends at the BX Press last fall. We pressed them into fresh juice. We mixed them with honey. We threw in cinnamon and vanilla, and I think the result is very similar to apple pie. So this is called Apple Indulgence. And
How much alcohol is in this?
about 12.5%, so it's not too far off wine. We've kind of tried to copy the sweetnesses available for wine drinkers and the alcohol. So this is a semi-sweet, and the sweetness is from raw honey, which we add at the very end, which just sweetens it, but it's like apple pie.
This is my first time trying mead.
Yeah.
And I know I've been here before just to get honey, but wow, I've never had mead before.
That's really good.
I've heard of it, just
And then we'll try blackberry. So this is another one of my favorites. So blackberry twist. The twist is that we're adding some black currants into it as well. People often ask us to try our red mead, and unfortunately with not using grapes, we don't have reds, whites, and rosés, but we've got the color coming from the beautiful blackberry juice.
I can't believe it's just honey and water fermented.
this one actually smells like wine.
Yeah.
Like it's
so a
got
lot of
that
people
fruity-
think it's just like a juicy berry, really easy to drink. Don't taste the alcohol too much, but.
And with wine, you pair it with food. Is this more of a
Yeah.
dessert?
These two here at the semi-sweet level are kind of on that hinge between, it could be paired with food, but it also could be a dessert wine. We do have drier styles, which are great with food. They're great with cheese and different charcuterie boards.
Cheese,
and things.
definitely, yeah. Charcuterie boards, wow.
Throw some honey on your cheese too and
This
wash
is
it down with me.
insane.
I got buzzed at Planet B. My arms are exposed though.
That's okay. I feel like I'm going to work in a chain gang.
Straight from Milan. This is going to be in your stores next summer.
And sleeveless for the hot Okanagan summer. Yes, please.
Is there one for me?
So anyway, when a beekeeper gets prepared to go out into the bees, there's some certain gear that we usually put on. White coveralls are usually preferred because they're cooler on a hot day.
So it has nothing to do with the bees themselves being attracted or not attracted to anything.
No, they're color-wise. Sometimes they get a little confused with bright colors, like red can look black to them and stuff. A hat and veil. It seems like that when the bees are a little upset or a little, cautious with you around, they tend to start bopping off the side of your head and stuff.
I've personally been stung by a wasp on plenty of occasions, or yellow jacket, sorry.
Or not knowing what the difference when you look at them. Some people don't even know
Yeah,
that.
exactly, but I've never been stung by a honeybee. So what are the biggest misconceptions and differences?
So honeybees are social insects. They live in colonies, hundreds, thousands of bees in one hive kind of thing. They have the caste system, or they have a queen, they have workers, and then they have drones, which are the males. Wasps or yellow jackets are solitary bees. Most of them die off over winter. Single fertile females are the ones that survive the winter, and then in the spring they start to reproduce. So the first batch of wasps that hatch out might only be 10 in count. So I'm gonna get a smoker first, and we're gonna puff some smoke on them. This is another one of the beekeeper's favorite tools.
Oh, so we're not using like Cuban cigars. We're using an actual device here. And I have a question here for you. Where do you acquire the bees, or where do you find your bees? Each year.
Well, we overwinter them, but we always need replacement queens, and we can buy them in the spring. They come from California or Hawaii. The ones from Hawaii come with grass skirts, and they do the little different dance than the other type
Nice.
of bees and stuff.
Dawn home music playing in the
So
background.
what does this do exactly?
So this is a smoker. By puffing smoke on the bees, it calms them down. They scurry back into the hive. It kind of takes their defensive edge off of them. This is one single hive, one colony. Usually the queen is confined to the bottom where she lays her eggs and stuff, and then up above is where we store the honey. Okay, so typically when I harvested these, there was like 60 pounds of honey in each of these boxes, and I took 4 of them off of this hive. And now they're still making some honey in that one, but this one's not.
Now, how much honey can actually come out of like one of these colonies right here?
This year, 2020, is the best year that I know of. I've been keeping bees here since 1997.
Yep.
And it's by far the best year of honey crop. So this is a frame, a honey frame. You can see the honey in here, kind of thing. See how
Can I hold it?
you can. I could find better ones than that, though, is what I'm hoping. But
Hey guys, how's it going over there?
wonderful. I'm gonna go down one more layer too, because there's a lot.
What's up, guys? Whoa.
There is a, oh my gosh.
So this is a queen excluder, and that's so it excludes the queen from going up higher.
You're not allowed
So we
to.
keep the queen.
You
at the
keep her
bottom.
confined. You don't let her leave. You say?
I can hear like the sound of them right now.
Yeah.
That's insane.
The cycle of the bees, of course, the queen lays the eggs. In 21 days, that egg emerges as a young adult bee.
How many hives did you start with when you first began?
We got 300 nukes.
300 of these.
Yeah, 300 colonies. So, if you can look close in those, close, you can see the little larva, a little white, like larva in there. So, the egg is just a little white speck, like a pinhead. After 3 days, it hatches into a larva. So there's the queen bee. Bump into her. Yeah. So she's got a white dot on her back.
And you guys put that dot on her?
Yep. Yep. So she's the mother of all of these bees in here.
So
now.
you're like a rancher when you mark your studs and everything. You can do the same thing with the queens.
Yeah. Oh, did you see? Oh, look at this! All this nectar in there today.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
That's insane. Look at that.
So yeah, so in this, here you can see the sealed honey. So the honey is on the farthest outside. There's a band of pollen, all these colored cells of bee pollen there. And then that's the protein food for the young developing bees. And then you'll see the different stages of brood here. So sealed brood, open larva, and if we look closely, we might see some honey, or some eggs, I mean, too.
Now, is this most likely honey from the golden flower over there?
It very much could be.
Goldenrod.
Golden
Dun, dun,
rod,
dun.
that's right.
So when you drizzled some extra nectar down there, does that attract more of them to come in now because they're smelling it, or does it infuriate them?
That's the nectar that they brought in today. Like the whole colony worked on it. They brought in the nectar. They put it in the open cells, and then they have to dehydrate it. So when they collect nectar from the flowers, it's about 65% moisture, water.
Yeah.
Also, when they bring the nectar in, they transfer it out of their little honey tummies and pump it back into the cells. And they add an enzyme called invertase that inverts the sugar, the sucrose and glucose, into fructose and honey sugars, which are easier to assimilate, to digest, to absorb for us and for the bees and stuff. That's why honey's better. Then, once they've got it in the cells, then they fan their wings all evening long and dehydrate it, and then when it's down to a safe moisture where it'll keep, then they seal it over with beeswax. And so when I showed you that part that was covered over, that was honey that was done.
Besides the smoker, what's a beekeeper's other pieces of tool that they would normally use?
This is a bee brush. When you got to get the bees off the comb for some reason.
I'm assuming the bristles are soft so you're not hurting them too much?
Yeah, they're pretty soft. And so that's good. This is a hive tool, very handy tool. You're using it all the time for prying things apart, for scraping, for hammering nails.
How do all these ones get back in?
They'll go back in.
Okay.
Yeah, they all can go in. The entrance is there, and there's holes here and stuff.
How many jars, this could be a difficult question to answer, I guess, but how many jars of honey would you guys be producing a year, like regular sized jars?
The big jars are 1 kilogram each.
Yes.
So if we took 240 pounds out of here, that's 100 kilograms or 110 kilograms. So it'd be 110 jars, 10 dozen of the big jars.
Yeah.
But we do lots of smaller ones too, the 375 gram or the 150 gram. But we also sell it in 2 kilogram, 5 kilogram pails, even 15 kilograms.
And that's just out of one of these. That you get 110 kilograms. And how many of these do you have here?
I've only got 3 or 4 around here, but I got a barrel full of honey, like one of those drums full of honey just from this property.
Awesome, Ed. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for your time, my friend.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank
That
you
was
for
a
that
pleasure.
lesson.
Yeah, no, it's one of my favorite pastimes is sharing about the bees with people and stuff. We often do little exhibits when Saturday
Yes.
afternoons people are there and gathered around
Love it.
outside.
Okay, so we're outside of Planet B right now, and where are we exactly?
So,
it looks nice little
This
garden,
is part
tall
of
garden,
our,
I should say.
Yeah, so part of our bee-friendly gardens that you can come visit. So for inspiration, if you're planting in your yard, what is great for bees and pollinators? This here is goldenrod. This I call like the pollinator buffet. So it comes into bloom every August, and it brings out all the little native bees. So tiny little ones like this, all the way through to the big bumblebees. And we have for you guys some goldenrod honey. So we like to kind of showcase unique honeys. Not all honey is the same. A lot of people just think honey is honey.
So this came directly from this.
This is from goldenrod specifically. So if you want to
Every time she says goldenrod, I think it's like a James Bond villain or something, or like the name of a movie. Go ahead. So speaking of tastings, now that we're living in a COVID world,
yes.
we're actually privileged here right now to actually be doing tasting because we're not doing any open tastings with your customers anymore,
The
right?
honey tasting table. So everybody who's been here knows it's like a buffet. Unfortunately, you get one sneeze or one cough in the vicinity of that. It's not going to be a pretty picture.
So right now there's no tasting for
no
honey,
tasting.
but mead, yes.
Mead tastings are every day. So
You gotta spray it down with propolis.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is really good.
I use it, especially through the winter, I use it more often actually. I do put it in my drinks,
Yeah.
like my iced teas if there's, special drink that I'm trying to make and sweeten it up a little bit, but definitely with my my tea in the summer or in the winter time to stay nice and warm and to lubricate the throat. Anytime I'm feeling a little under the weather, there's lemon tea and honey. It's like a must every time and I feel better the next day.
Very Eastern European thing.
Totally, eh?
Yeah.
Our lemon ginger honey is great in warm water, and we've got a recipe for lavender honey lemonade, which is great.
Awesome.
It's super easy.
Well, we're privileged to be able to sample some.
Thank you.
Yeah,
No
thank
problem.
you. Hey, David, did you have fun with the liquid gold that we were tasting here today?
Absolutely, Peter. It's been great to be here today, and
Are you being kind?
absolutely, I'm being kind. I'm also being aware with everything around here today.
And we shot a lot of B-roll while we were here too for future episodes.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's awesome to be shooting in areas where we have a great view behind us also.
Because this will remind you about the trees that we're planting every time you purchase one of these t-shirts. Hey guys, don't forget to smash a like.
And subscribe to our channel for more content.